So August 2nd, 2022, I went to La Mesa Pre-Owned and I bought this beautiful red Ram 25 or 1500 with the Echo Diesel. Had 119,000 miles on it. The truck was in pristine condition. You can see inside and out. There were no issues. There were no accidents involved in it. It was maintained very well. And I was super excited for this. On August 24th, the check engine light came out. So I had to make an appointment, and I got one September 10th at Jack Powell Ford here in Escondido. You can see when they were looking at the truck, they checked the engine light, and it said the intake runner was sticking. They said it was a recall item, and so they were going to replace the intake manifold and the fuel lines. And so they did that, but I had to wait because they were out of parts. I also asked them to do a multi-point inspection because it was a new truck. And then they said there's one other recall for the high pressure fuel pump. They said, however, there was no remedy for it yet, meaning there's no parts anywhere. So I had to keep checking back on that for for that. And then November 4th, you can see here my truck caught on fire. I was driving down the freeway. People were honking at me when I was coming to a traffic jam. You can see how the traffic stops right there. That's because it's a stoplight at the end of the freeway. And the guy's yelling at me, "Your truck's, there's flames, it's on fire." He said some other things that I won't put on here, but so I pulled over the side of the road. As I'm pulling over, the flames are already starting to make their way into the truck through the vent, which freaked the hell out of me. I pulled over to the side of the road. Maybe didn't make the smartest move. I pulled softball gear, mine and my daughter's, out of the truck, and I got my iPad out, and then by then the whole truck was engulfed. From the time I pulled over to what you see here was 4.5 minutes. I'm not sure how Oceanside Fire Department got there so quick. It was pretty amazing, but they got there, and they were literally on the scene 4 minutes after I pulled over. So while I'm sitting here watching my truck burn, I called my insurance company, and then I called the um, Jack Powell for Dodge because I just had work done on this truck um, 3, 4 weeks before. So and I hadn't put more than 500, 600 miles on it since I was there. So uh, I thought they should see it too because maybe there's something that I was missing, or maybe I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking, but I was pissed that my truck was on fire. That's for sure. Um, so as they're putting the fire out, you'll see the final damage. You can see my engine's almost all completely burnt up. Not much left there. The tires are burnt up. Uh, the inside totally trashed. Just FYI, when airbags go off, it's crazy. Um, so then after I got home, I started seeing that the Ram 1500 Echo Diesel 215 are recalled because of fire risk. Go imagine that. There are articles all over the place about this. There's class action suits um, everywhere. They were claiming that this engine was terrible. Um, they said that it was made by Fiat, and it's this all reflects that manifold, intake manifold. At least that's what they told me. I got a letter uh, from Dodge saying that they're going to decline any assistance associated with this fire. Their reasoning, if you look closely at this letter, it says that based on the pictures that they saw no evidence that it could have been from any manufacturing defects. So here I'm popping up my picture again the um, of the burnt engine. So it's pretty difficult to determine what's wrong with your car based on this picture because the engine's burnt. You have to take the engine apart. You can dig in and find out what caused the fire, and my insurance company is working on that right now. So Um, but Dodge declined to send someone there to do a forensic inspection. They just washed their hands of me. And just to follow up on that a little bit, they also um, refused to even talk to me about it. And I called them and I said, listen, well, I I've been a 20 plus year customer of Dodge. I've had probably seven Dodges, Chryslers, Rams over the past 24 years alone. And I've been very loyal to the Chrysler family, and you're going to turn your back on that. And I said, I'm just going to walk away. I'm never going to buy one of your products again. Are you okay with that? And they pretty much said, well, if that's what you decide to do, then that's what you decide to do. That's your decision. And I said, oh, you should have seen the bubbles that were bubbling in my brain. So um, I just said, God bless Chrysler customers, and I hung up. I just couldn't take it anymore. So let's go back to Jack Powell. Okay, so Jack Powell, Dodge, they're the ones that did the work on my car, and they did the recall. So they were the ones that I called right from the fire, and they asked me to send pictures. They asked me to send videos. I did it. Um, I I followed up. They said we're going to have my service manager call you. Mind you, this happened on a Friday morning. So by Friday afternoon, I called back and they said the manager's not going to be able to get to you today. He'll call you on Monday. Monday, I heard nothing. Tuesday, I went down there, and of course, service manager's nowhere to be found. General manager's out for lunch. The CEO didn't have time to talk to me or something, but I did try to reach out. And so I wrote a letter. I wrote a letter to the president of Jack Powell, and pretty much I said this. I said, listen, there's a good possibility that this damage and fire was caused by the recall um, that you did. I'm not here to put blame on it, but there's a good possibility. That's what it's caused. And I'm not here to get a lawyer. I'm not here to um, to try to sue you, get a free truck. None of that. Only thing I'm looking for is if you're willing to help me out if my insurance doesn't cover everything that I put into this car 4 months ago. So between my loan and my down payment, tax, and license. And I said, if you do that, I will then, in turn, buy a new truck from you immediately because I need a new truck. Okay, I sent that letter twice to the CEO, and she didn't respond once. And their service manager responded to me, nice guy. Um, Nothing he could do. There was nothing he was going to say. He goes, I understand your frustration. Let's see what happens. I reached out to him again after Dodge kicked me to the side. And again, he said, there's nothing I can do. Let me send you to the service or sales manager. And anyway, long story short, um, just like Chrysler, Jack Powell, Dodge, zero customer service. They don't get two shits about their customers. And I take that very, very sincere because I'm looking for help. Wasn't trying to sue them. I wasn't trying to place blame, but I was looking for help. I I would have been okay if you would have just said no. Called me up, said, you know what, there's nothing we can do to help you out. I would have been a lot happier about at least addressing the issue, having some compassion. But let me tell you, um, for having a customer that's spent money with you and have this happened and showed no compassion for it whatsoever, I am done with Jack Powell Dodge. and I'm done with Chrysler. And I'm blasting this video everywhere I can. And that's my story. And I'm still steaming over this, and I hope to get into a new Ford or a GMC or Chevrolet or Nissan or a Toyota, some kind of truck soon. It definitely won't be a Ram ever, ever again. Um, that's it. I hope you don't ever experience what I experienced.